With summer now well underway and entertaining outside looking likely even with the British weather, Govee seems to be focusing their attention on outdoor lighting fixtures, and having recently reviewed the frankly magical outdoor lamppost, I was keen to see what they were offering here with the UpDown Wall Light, available from today at $100 each or $190 for a 2-pack. I'm James Bruce, you're watching Matter Alpha Reviews, and I freaking love flashy LEDs of all kinds. Right, let's talk specs. In terms of brightness, they offer a total of 1200 lumens, which shoots up and down in about a 90-degree angle, and that will be in white mode, but colors are a little less bright. But as well as full color segment control, they also feature warm and cold white LEDs, so not just for fun color modes for parties, but also for year-round entertaining. The IP66 waterproofing means they're good for year-round weather too, when installed correctly, and the shell is a UV-resistant polycarbonate, not metal. I'm definitely in favour of that, because living where I do, nothing metal ever survives the salty Cornish air. They're a little bit bigger than I was expecting, at just over 5 inches wide by 10.5 inches tall. Fairly hefty things, and they protrude about 4 inches from the wall when fitted, so they aren't discreet in any way. They will be a feature in and of themselves. The front panel is fairly plain, unlike Govee's other outdoor wall light offering. It's really just a sort of corrugated shell, a very small Govee logo in the bottom left, and the fun bit is then on the top, bottom and sides. Installation I thought was relatively simple, but it is a DIY job and you will need to make holes in your wall to screw the metal bracket in. And the cabling is designed to come through the wall from behind, but if you have no DIY experience at all and have never touched an electric drill, you're probably going to struggle. Since I was upgrading some existing wall lights, I already had suitable cabling to use that was already wired in. In the box there are some easy cable joining screw caps, but of course these are live AC wires that you're dealing with, so do be careful. Ensure the circuit is off at the fuse box before attempting this, and double check with an AC detector pen or voltmeter. So simple wiring, simple fixing, but the last step was the most difficult for me. In order to ensure it's completely waterproof, you'll want to seal around the edges where it joins the wall, so you'll need a silicone gun. Not sure if you call that something different in the US, but ensure you get a good seal and try not to be as messy as I was. Then you should be all set, so just turn the power on, head on over to the Govee app to add the devices. You'll also find the Matter pairing code on the side of the UpDown Wall Light, so scan that within 15 minutes of powering them on to add them to your preferred smart home platform. As with any Matter lighting product, control when using Matter is basic and limited. You get on, off, brightness and single color control. There are no scenes nor individual segment control, it's just the same color throughout, whichever you select. While Matter is supposed to offer a single unified interface, and technically speaking you don't need the Govee Home app at all just to turn them on and off, you'd be missing out on a huge range of features, and it's basically not optional. So do go and download Govee Home if you haven't already. Despite the name, they do actually have a small amount of light at the sides too, though the main lighting effect is on the top and bottom. The side lighting seems to be there only to really ease the transition from the top to the bottom and provide a little visual interest on an otherwise fairly plain dark grey case. At eye level, you don't see the light emitters on the top and bottom, but you will on the side with a bar of translucent plastic through which the light comes. Now, Govee claims up to 12 meters square of wall coverage, and while it will naturally provide some general ambient illumination, I don't think these are going to be your main lighting source, like projecting onto an outdoor dining table or entertainment area. Unless it's pitch black and they're literally the only lights you have, essentially these are more structural effect lighting for your home. So if you are putting together an outdoor area, you should also factor in something else, some outdoor string lights, for instance. Again though, white modes are handled separately by a dedicated LED, so those are naturally brighter. While there are, 100 different scenes in the app, I found most of them to be a bit disappointing, in that there's only so much you can do with a wall light where the main feature is one light facing up and one light facing down. The side panels are the most dynamic during scenes, and to be honest, they just look a bit cheesy. Any flickering or dramatic color changing effects kind of look a bit out of place. I think as part of a wider holiday display, it absolutely makes sense, but most of the time, you'll probably just pick a favorite color and leave it on that. Music reactive mode is limited compared to many Govee lights because it needs your smartphone microphone there to pick up. There is no on-device mic, which I think makes it close to useless because you're probably going to be using your phone for something else. That said, again, as part of a wider audio dream view setup, they would be fine. That's where you have, say, a small controller box which listens to the audio and then sends commands over Bluetooth to the lights. So you can integrate them brilliantly with other Govee lighting products. So should you buy the Govee UpDown Wall Lights? Looking at the rest of the market, it seems clear that the UpDown Wall Light is a direct response to the Philips Hue Dimera, which is a similarly dark grey outdoor wall light fixture with an up-down individual projection of light onto the wall. There are some slight differences, namely the Govee model has a little bit of side lighting too and much more dynamic scenes compared to Hue, but the main difference is the price. The Govee ones are half the price of the Hue Dimera. You will also find even cheaper smart up-down wall lights at the other end of the spectrum, some of which just have a remote control or which offer basic color changing via a custom app. No matter support and not nearly as bright or as vibrant. I think the pricing is reasonable on these. Outdoor lighting is expensive even without the smart features, just due to the increased ruggedization of the lighting. And with a little customization, you have a very classy outdoor wall fixture that provides ample lighting for small, close gatherings year-round, but won't light up your entire yard. They don't flicker, they've never got too warm for me, even in the summer heat, and control over matter offers just enough functionality for a device like this, where you probably don't want some flashy dynamic scenes for 360 days of the year, but you still have the option for those through the Govee Home app when needed. Any questions or feedback, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, hit like and consider subscribing for all the latest Matter reviews and explainers. You'll find even more over at matteralpha.com, including a full Matter compatible device database. Very handy. Until next time.